Good morning, internet. It is Sunday morning. It's the 13th of October, and it's a cloudy morning, but it's not too cold. And this is my first ride out on the channel for my new Guerrilla, the Guerrilla 450, eh? Isn't she absolutely gorgeous, eh? I don't know. Two classic bits of stuff on the road today. One's the bike and of course the other one's, right, could be me. Right, and without any further ado, let's take this baby a ride. It is so light, so easy to go around, eh? Beautiful, absolutely. Now obviously we're going to keep it under this 4,000 revs, because this is what running in is all about, eh? Just drop the visor down a bit because it's a bit nippy, as I say, but still. Right, so here we go, hey? You know, when you first leave the house and you think to yourself, I wish I hadn't have actually put on all that gear, yeah? You know? You think, I'm way overloaded for it, but really speaking, when you actually think about it, you're not, are you? Like I say, it creeps up to this 4,000 revs so quickly, it really does. You've got to keep your eye on it, yeah? And of course, we have a 6-speed gearbox now, not 5. This display, now I'm not too sure, I've seen by other YouTubers that when they actually look at the display, you know, because it's the LED, the GoPro does all sorts of funny stuff with it, and if that's the case, I apologise. Well, the good thing is today the roads are dry, and hopefully we'll stay nice and dry. Now, you know what, as I said, this is the first ride on the channel for this bike. I have done 98 kilometers, which is when I bought it home from the dealership, and I looked at this seat at the dealership. You know, when you first go to look at a bike, it's all a bit much to take in it. So like, when I got to the dealers, I sort of looked at it and I thought to myself, do you know, that looks a very thin seat, yeah? Look at that, 100 kilometre, hey, the first 100 kilometre. No, but you know, it just looked a very thin seat, and I thought to myself, you know what, this is going to be like really hard, you know, and not too comfortable at all. But I did 3 hours on the bike coming back, and I tell you what, absolutely brilliant. Not one bit of numb bum, eh? Absolutely real comfortable seat. And I've heard other people say, but you think to yourself, they're only saying that because they're doing a review. Well, this isn't a review, this is my bike, so if it was uncomfortable, I'd say, do you know what, this bike seat is really, but it's not. Absolutely fantastic, no problems with it at all. For me, with the 3 hours riding that I had, the only little tiny bit of criticism that I had about this bike, and it's minor, it's me being picky, is the suspension for me is maybe a tad too stiff. Now, it will wear in. Obviously it's a brand new bike, so the suspension will wear in, but yeah, I mean, that's just me, you know. I suppose I could adjust it. It's set on the first one. I don't know, I'll see. Maybe let it do its thing, get some kilometers on the clock, and see how it goes. Now this clock though, I tell you what, I mean, it does such a lot. I was talking to my mate yesterday on the phone, Harry, and I was telling him about it. He says, Carl, you're boring me, you know. And it's true, there's such a lot to go through it. Yeah, I mean, it just, oh, I don't know, hey, it blows me away, as I say. What's this here? You got to be careful at the moment, because the tractors are out, and fair play, they got to do the work, but the roads tend to be an actual disgrace. They really do, you know. They don't even try and clean the mud off the tyres. They just cover you in like everything. Yeah. Now when you ride this bike, the clutch is so light. I forget what it's got, this, what is it, assisted clutch, or can't quite remember what it is now, but it does, it's, you know, you just literally, it's to put the gears in, you just flick them in and it's great, you know. And the same as the throttle cable, it's I forget what it's called now. Is it ride by wire? Is it something, you know? It's not actually a cable. It's all electronic. Well, I suppose at the end of the day, saves you oil in the cable, eh? But yeah, the clutch is absolutely great. Now the little USB down there is this. This caught me out this morning. It's a USB-C to USB-C. I mean, everything these days is USB-C in it. So, of course, but you've got to have a USB-C both ends cable. Luckily, I've got a few knocking around, so I was able to put it on. And yeah, I mean, nice little thought. It's wired in. They tend to have done such a lot this time that on previous models, you buy them and you tend to have to do them, you know. So just a nice little touches. It proves that Royal Enfield are actually listening to what the people want, you know. I mean, all LED lights. I mean, these backlights, it's just the indicators. Everything comes from the indicators, you know. You've got your indicator, you've got your side lights, you've got your stop lights, all in the indicators, which is great, you know. I mean, really nice and tidy and extremely bright. I mean, it looks really good. Just hope that you haven't got it parked up and someone rips your indicator off, because then you've got a bit of, and mind you, I mean, you don't want that to happen. But the good thing with Royal Enfield, and this is the one thing that I love about them, is that they tend to be cheap parts, you know. Cheap parts. You that's the one thing. Now that brings me to accessories, right? All modern bikes these days, and it doesn't seem to matter which sort of brand you have in this style of bike, there's absolutely no room for any storage, you know. Nothing at all. I mean, under the seat, I got to be honest, you take the seat off this and everything is accessible. The battery's right there, no fiddling and faffing around. Everything that you want to do is right there, which is great. I love that. But there's no, I literally just managed to get my documents in, you know. I've managed to poke them in, so they're under there wrapped up in a plastic bag, so when the old gendarmes stop me and say, can we see your documents, it's there. So that's one good thing. But apart from that, you've got nothing, nowhere to put a set of waterproofs. And of course with me, I like to carry the cameras, you know. I take another GoPro to, if I get out, you know, do a little walk round or whatever. Now, okay, you can put a backpack on. I don't like backpacks. I've never been a backpacky sort of a person. Never. You know, I just don't like that. So what I'm looking at is a sort of a tail pack that can be maybe strapped to the pillion seat, you know. And I think, are they called Rhino Hawk or Rhino Walk or something like that, where you can actually add bits and pieces to them, you know. They sort of attach down to the grab rails, and then you can put one on top of that one and one on the sides and all that sort of stuff. So that's the option really, I think, and that's what I'm gonna go for, you know. But that's, you know, I can't push it too far, eh? The wife is already like, hang on a minute, eh, what are you spending now? So, you know, you gotta be good. Now, I have ordered for it a set of engine bars, which I think is important, because should it fall over or should it get knocked over, you know, it can't go flat on its side. So yeah, so I've ordered a set of them. Hopefully they'll be here within the week and I can get them on. I'm going to put a little bubble screen on, only a small one. It just sort of deflects the wind, doesn't it, you know. So that's that. The tyres on it now, okay, they're Seat, is that how we say them? Seat tyres again. Now I've got to be honest, these are nice chunky tyres, and you know, so far the bike feels great. They're not a pure road tyre, you know. They're a sort of a semi off-road tyre. When these are worn down, I mean, I'll just put pure road tyres on and they'll be Michelin, you know, because that's what I like. But yeah, I mean, for the time being, the one they come out of the factory with seems to be doing a great job. I can't knock it. What else can I say about it? I mean, I'm not even trying with it. It's so responsive. It wants to go, I mean, it really does, but it's so important for this first 500, you know, to take it nice and easy, you know. But I mean, it's so easy to handle, you know. I mean, look at this, it's so effortless. Look, I mean, yeah, okay, I'm not going quick because of the revs, but it just does it, you know. It's there, nice and light, so responsive. I mean, you're going to be able to have a bit of fun on this bike. There is absolutely no two ways about that at all, you know. Like I said, I just want to get the initial 500 kilometers, get it over, get its first service, and then I think until it's done 1,000, you can take it up to 6,000 kilometers, which, believe you me, that's all that this bike needs, because it's so thrifty, you know. I mean, it's absolutely great. The brakes, again, huge improvement, you know. I mean, I'm basing it on the Himalayan, who, again, you know, the Himalayan has been criticised for God knows how long for the brakes. Again, I've got to be honest, I've never really had much of a problem with them, you know. They've always been fine for me, but riding these brakes are really good, you know. Yeah, Royal Enfield have really upped the game on anything else I think that they've made. Although the Shogun is every bit as good as this, it's just it's not for me. I looked at the Shogun, don't get me wrong, you know, but it's not what I want. What I wanted was a small light bike that had got a bit of power, you know, that could do the business if I wanted it to. It looked nice, it wasn't going to break the bank, and the main thing is it was manageable, and that's the important thing, manageable. Anyway, Odeon, eh? Quieting down now because the holiday season is obviously coming to an end, so I'll have a little ride through here like I normally do. It's got a nice little grunt to the exhaust, not too loud, not too offensive, you know. You're not gonna upset the neighbours, you know, but at the same time it just sounds nice, you know. I mean, you can change all this display here. You can have a permanent temperature display, as in engine temperature. We have got, it's saying it's 15 degrees, yeah. It's telling me it's the it's 11:31 the time, which I believe is about right, and it's 15 degrees. But you can customize that, and you can bring up all sorts of things, you know. You can bring up engine temperature, how much fuel, or how many kilometers. Oh, there's loads you can do. For me, I'm not really that, but what I do like is the map display on it. I put that on, that's really good, you know. I like that. Yeah. This is so nice here. Look at this, round these little, I mean, this is what this bike is good for. It's so nice, it handles so well, you know. Absolutely beautiful, you know, really is. And I know I keep saying it, but I don't care. I'm going to keep saying it. Aye, bit of work going on here, eh? What they're building, good old LaRue, eh? Lots of pictures. I don't know what it's all about, but still, never mind. This road is extremely bumpy at the best of times, so like I said, with this little, with the suspension on it being a little bit hard, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a bone shaker. But to be fair, it's not that bad. It's I'd say it's roughly the same as the Meteor 350, I think. Right, hang on, I'm just going to pull in here because we're going to turn it round here now in a minute. We'll just let this gentleman go past because we don't want to now look at that, look, tight little turn there, look, absolutely beautiful balance, no problem whatsoever. Okay, so we're just coming over the bridge at Odeon. Sea's nice and quiet. In fact, there's hardly any wind or anything today, so quite a pleasant day to ride in, really. We've just got to hope that the rain holds out. Right, so we're going to go now to my favourite place, which is the beaches, yeah. Now, another good thing with these, you've got a dual ride mode. You've got eco or performance. Now, obviously, you know, when you pick these bikes up, or well, any bike really, you're not used to anything. You don't know what's what. And when I first started coming home, it was in performance mode. It seems that that's what it's sort of set at. Every time you put the ignition on, it automatically sets itself to performance mode. Now, it seems that performance mode is exactly what it says it is. In that mode, it doesn't want to go at these speeds, you know. It seems like it's quite yeah, because it wants to go. But when you're trying to keep it under the 4,000, performance mode, in my personal opinion, is absolutely no good. Now this is in eco mode, and it makes all the difference. If I was to put this into performance mode now, in these sort of speeds and in these sort of conditions, it's just not for that, you know. That little puppy there. So yeah, obviously if you're going down a motorway or something like that, you know, or main roads, then performance mode would be, I would imagine, be great. Right now, until it's running, we don't need performance mode, we really don't. Now there's the sea. It's not looking very nice today because we've lost the sun, but who cares? The sea is the sea as far as I'm concerned, and I absolutely love it. So what better place to come here with the new bike to my favourite place, whether it's sunny or not, and have a look at the sea. I must adjust my phone. I put it on last night, and as you can see, the angle's a bit off. Got to get these things right, eh? But yeah. And another thing that I was really pleased about, that I noticed not till I got it home actually, was that on my Himalayan and the Meteor, the side stand is very small, you know, the bit that joins the ground, you know, it's very, and you end up buying a foot for it, you know, which I did, but it never seems to be quite right, does it? You know, I don't care where you get it from. But this one, and I'll show you when we stop, if we stop, they've actually put on a nice big thick chunky piece of metal, and what a difference it makes, you know. That's what we wanted in the first place, yeah, you know, that's exactly what we needed, was something like that that would actually make the difference without people having to mess around and go out and get one. So yeah, well done again, Royal Enfield. Now actually I didn't really want to come down this bit of the sea. Oh dear, strike again. Right, so we will go around the next bit. I mean, it pulls. I mean, it's so torquey, but not just torquey like at certain bands. It's torquey all the time, you know, and that's the nice thing. It's got the power, it's got the torque, and that's what makes it. And this is still, obviously, the engine is so tight, you know. And another nice thing with this that I've noticed is that their previous model bikes have they run on the 1550, I think it is, yeah. Whereas this one runs on, we're back to 1040, yeah, 1040 semi-synthetic. So again, it's sort of come back to the conventional thing, you know, which I think, whoops-a-daisy, there I was talking and sort of went over me 4,000. Occasionally a little peak won't hurt it, but very occasionally. So yeah, I think that's a good thing as well. That's you know, I've never noticed that arch there before. When I was running the Himalayan in, you know, and you're constantly sort of watching the revs, I know, you know, I'm not a speed master. I don't like whizzing around here, there and everywhere. It's, you know, but likewise it is horrible, well not horrible, but it's a pain in the proverbial bum when you do have to keep your eye on that rev counter, you know. And I'll be so happy when we get to the initial 500, sorry, 500. Get me hundreds and thousands all mixed up. Okay, so this is where I wanted to be. Look at that, eh? That's Odeon, where we've come from, over there. And this is called, we're in the area of Pluinick now. Pluinick, however you want to pronounce it. But this is the area that I love. I mean, not just this area, but you know, it's just nice, yeah. I know this sounds a bit daft, but I've done 124 kilometres now. You can feel these brakes actually getting better, you know, really starting to get a grip on them now. And again, the tyres, you know, once they get scrubbed off, as I'm sure Pete, it's quite funny really, because hang on, look at that for a view, eh? Isn't that bad? Oh, surfers it in the sea. Fair play to him. I mean, I do take my hat off to him, mate. I don't know whether you'll get them on the GoPro, but they're there, little dots in the sea, having fun. And why not? If we can stop and look, we will. I don't think there's anywhere to stop here though, to be honest. Yeah, on Friday when I was picking this up, my mate Pete, who's up in Normandy, he got his 350 Classic booked in for the service and a new set of tyres on. So of course he was riding, it was cold where he was as well, and he was coming back on new tyres, which, you know, you've always got to be a bit careful, haven't you? Let's have a look at this. We're just pulling aside here. Hey, look at that there. Lots of surfers over there. I hope you're getting them. Look, coming in on the waves. I mean, that's quite nice, isn't it, eh? Yes, reminds me of when I was a lad, that surfer there. Look, oh, yeah, it certainly does remind me of when I was a lad. I spent more time head down than I did actually standing on the flaming board, but still, never mind. Anyway, without further ado, there's a lot of surfers in there now. Look at that lot, eh? This is busier here now than it was in the summer. And you know what? Isn't it funny, eh? This bike, a Guerrilla, not a Guerrilla. I've heard people say it's not. It's a Guerrilla, and it reminds me, because I used to have a Guerrilla Tiger Cross when I was 16. Yeah, a 50cc. Love that bike. And isn't it funny now? You know, this one, the name of it, eh? And it's still basic bike. I still love it. Brilliant bit of kit, you know. It's like full circle. Do you know what? I'm not even going to moan. I'm so happy. I'm not even going to moan. You know, look at this fourth gear. I mean, trust me, I could just whack this round and she'd fly up here, but I'm going to, look at that nice view in the mirror there. I'm not going to do that because I'm a good boy, and I want this bike running absolute, just like the Himalayan. Yeah, it makes all the difference. You run them in right, they pay you back right. Now we're just coming down here. This is this little bar down here, look, which I think it's probably shut now, I think, for the season. That's it, probably finished. Yeah, it looks pretty shut to me, eh? And this is this little port here. This is called Port Polon. I'll tell you what, the riding position, for me anyway, I mean, I know we're all different sizes and height and arm reach and everything else, but for me there's absolutely nothing I want to change, you know. I don't want to put bar raisers on it. The bars are comfortable. I mean, they are nice, relaxed. Elbows are like, you know, tucked in and down and no pressure on them. I'm not stretched. I'm in a lovely riding position. It's you know, whoever designed this bike has sat down and listened and put some thought into it, and well done, really well done. And yes, I'm sure there will be the Guerrilla haters. What a load of rubbish they'll say. Well, it's not worth this and it's not worth that and everything else. Well, you know, I don't think Royal Enfield sales are saying that right now. But let's face it, we can all slag off something that we don't like, but what's the point? If you don't like it, then you don't like it. There's no need to go on about it, is there? And that's the bit that annoys me, and half of it is purest and simple jealousy. But still, never mind, we've been through this before. I think they've got it smack on with this bike, I really do. I think they need to be congratulated, if anything. Okay, so a little stop. And what a nice place to stop. This, as you can see by all the pictures on the walls, this is like an arts and drama school here, where and the pupils have done this, and they change it on a regular basis. They put all shows in the summer. They put shows outside and that, and I think it's really good. It's certainly not graffiti. Really good. Okay, so well, there she is. I'm just going to say it again. Isn't she lovely? I really think she is. It just looks nice, I think. You either love it or hate it. It's a bit like Marmite. I love Marmite. So there you go. Right, now, do you see what I mean about this side stand here? Yeah? Look at that there, look. Nice. They've made that so different. And I heard a few people say they was concerned about the lean of the bike. Well, I mean, this is pretty flat land here. Well, I don't think that leans over too much. I mean, if you don't pay attention to where you're going to park it, and you park it on the opposite lane, well, then you're going to be in trouble, ain't you? But any experienced biker, you know, us mature riders amongst us, will know that if it's flat like this is, you're okay. Well, there is a slight incline on this going that way, slightly. That's why I've put it this way. Obviously, if I had to put it the other way around, then yeah, maybe the lean. I think that's an acceptable lean. It makes getting off and on it a lot easier for us older arthritic people. You know, this bike's a doddle to get on and off. Now, I'll tell you one thing that I don't like, and I think Pete will back me up on this one after having his serviced. If you look at the chain, absolutely covered in their chain wax. Horrible. I hate chain wax, I really do. I like the spray. I use little chain spray. I love the stuff. I think it's brilliant. Unfortunately, I'm on my last tin and I can't get any for love and the money. So if anybody knows where they're selling it, what Lidl sells it, or where you can get it from, I'd love to know. Right, well, that's you know, let's get back on. Let's finish our little ride. I'm going to go home now. It's well past 12 o'clock, so oh, hang on, wrong glove. Fuel time for me, not the bike, is calling. Yeah, so a little ride home now, if you want to come along with me, bits and pieces of it. Let's just turn this back on now. You'll see, and I don't know how well this is going to pick this up, but when it does all its little thing here, look, yeah, and it does all that, okay, and if I flick that button there, it automatically comes, oh, it's gone off, look, ride mode performance, press it again, ride mode eco, that's it, yeah, ride mode eco. and start her up, and she's in eco. It must be automatic preset that it goes to ride mode performance. So, and like I say, when it's running in the right condition, then yeah. Now we are charging, so the USB port works, so that's good. Right, okay, so without further ado, off we jolly well go. I want to adjust this one mirror this side. I'll tell you what, I'm quite impressed with these mirrors. No vibrations on them, or not that I've seen anyway. Okay, haven't exactly been going 100 miles an hour, or intend to just yet. Well, or anywhere soon, to be honest with you. I just love how this is so manoeuvrable and easy to manoeuvre. And this, you know, the dash is so, it's so readable, you know, it's clear, it's great. I know I'm waffling on and on, but that's what I'm famous for on this channel, so yeah, there we go. So we've done 138 kilometres as yeah, 138. Gotta watch it here. There's a lot of road work's been going on here, and you've got all the loose grit everywhere, and that's one I do not wish to drop my new bike. That would be a disaster. Okay, off we go. So we're in a place called Plosivet right now, which we've been many a times before. A lot of cyclists out today, and fair enough, why not? It's not raining, it's not too cold. They're certainly not cold, pedalling away. I think we'll go a little long way home. Which will be a little bit different, because we do want to get the kilometres on this bike ASAP. That's Capitaine Cook there, where my wife works. Actually, that was my fault then. Should have dropped down another gear. Bit unfair. So, as everybody knows, when I took the Himalayan on, which was from the same dealership, I took that had a service warranty, and it still is. I mean, I took it back for its first service, and then after that I just did the servicing on it myself, because I did things to the engine which, you know, would have made the warranty not sort of stand up, and yeah, I didn't adhere to it, and that, which is, you know, which is fine, because there was things that I wanted to do to that bike which made it better for, you know, for my own riding. So yeah, whereas this bike, like I said, it'll go for its first service, and then after that I can't quite remember the actual the span to the next service, but they're not huge services on it, because the tappets are high, well, they're shimmed tappets. So, you know, I think they're only checked at 10,000 or something, or maybe 6. I'm not too sure. I've got to check all the, you know, all the warranty, all the service warranties. But I will keep this one being done by Royal Enfield, basically because it's a new engine, it's a new developed engine, you know, and I'd be a bit silly not to. So if we look at this, look, we're just, hopefully the GoPro's getting that screen, it's not all flashy, but I'm on probably 3,700, I'd say, somewhere around there, 74 kilometers an hour, so, you know, and this is the sort of speed that the bike needs to do to run in, you know. I mean, this is what will do it the world of good, you know. No great speeds, nice and easy, top gear, you know. This is what this engine's all about. But like I say, going to keep it in warranty because this is their brand new developed engine and you never know. So should there be any hiccups along the way, I want it fully under warranty. It's a 3-year warranty, you know, 3-year unlimited mileage. I'm not going to put loads of mileage on it, you know. I mean, I've got 2 other bikes, I ride between them all. Obviously for a bit this will be the main ridden bike, because, you know, I want to get it sort of, get that mileage up and hit its first service, so every time I go out it will be on this bike. Having said that, the weather this week is absolutely awful again. Tomorrow's, well, today it was supposed to be sunny, it's not. Tomorrow they're saying it's cloudy, so it will probably rain, and then the rest of the week they're saying it's rain, so I don't know, you know, it's not looking very good at all this week, but there you go, such is life, eh? But at least I've got a bit on it today, so every little helps. We'll have a little cut through Super U car park, which is just well, it hasn't been shut too long, but yeah. Do you know what? You only have to slightly touch that throttle and off it goes, yeah. Very responsive. Sometimes you don't even want to, you know, it's just resting your hand on it and off it goes. Getting the right gear to pull off would be a good thing there. Right. Now I'll tell you another little thing. I don't know whether you can see that. The indicator is so small, little green, see, can you see that there? Little flashing green thing. And if you're like me, who easily forgets to turn the indicator off, you can hardly see that, you know. So you do have to be a bit careful there. Okay, so there we go, the first channel ride of my brand new Royal Enfield Guerrilla, not Gorilla. Oh dear. Well, I've loved it. It looks like it's going to rain. I can feel the the temperatures, it's not too bad actually, but it's being out in it, you know, constantly, you do tend to get a bit cold. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've just hit 150 kilometers on the clock, so yep, doing what I wanted to do, building it up. I'm going to come out, hopefully I might get a ride in tomorrow if the weather's not too bad. If I can get it, bang it up, say to 200 tomorrow, that would be great. So there we go, back on my little road, if anybody remembers where I live, which is here. Well, thanks for coming along. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed it. If you're thinking about getting one of these, trust me, you won't make a bad decision. These bikes are awesome, they really are. So yeah, you know, I mean, I'm looking forward till I've had it about 3 months and we can sort of go out and, you know, we'll do a review, eh? Gotta get the review done. But until then, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Hang on a sec, I'll just get myself. I just love, look at this nice low revs. Look how easy this bike turns. Look at this, eh? Beautiful. Okay, I'm waffling again as usual. Let's just put this in neutral. Okay, right, I'm definitely, well, I will do in a minute, I'm definitely going to say goodbye. Thanks for watching, mate. If you've enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, I'd love you to be subscribed or followed or whatever you want to do. Keep in tune. Let's get some more rides on this bike. Let's get a few accessories fitted, but most of all, let's see how this bike runs over a period of time. Okay, that's it. Look after yourselves and bye for now.